Hey folks, and welcome back here to Ace Run Productions as we bring you the conclusion of the 2023 Discraft Big Rip Classic presented by Ledgestone out in Lumberton, Mississippi at the Eagles Landing Disc Golf Course. I am JohnE McCray, and once again I'm bringing you the coverage alongside Shane Seal, one of our Pro Masters players in the Southeast who had a top 10 finish at the 2021 Worlds, and also one of the folks who helped design the course these players are playing on. How are you doing today, Shane?
Great. Looking forward to seeing some great golf here on this final day.
Indeed, we got the best of the best here on the lead card who have already battled through 2 rounds and have done quite well for themselves, as we'll start taking a look at the players now. Of course, one of them, the one topping the charts, is going to be none other than Matteo, recent MVP Open champion, always in or near the top 10 in the world rankings. It's been very good for a very long time, and he's topping it out there today.
Yeah, joining him, we have kind of a fresh face here, Joshua Patin, who has been to a lot of these tournaments and had some great finishes and plays for Westside as well. Of course, we see a familiar face back on the card here in JohnE McCray, representing Team Latitude 64. So looking forward to seeing both of these guys and see how they can chase down Matt.
Yeah, we got Ben Fulford, been playing pro since 2020, has 10 career MPO wins, has often been rated over 1,000. And has won a couple tournaments in the Southeast already this year at the Midsummer Meltdown out in Foley, as well as the Citronelle lineup. So always a pretty solid player in the Southeast.
Yep, players will get started as usual here on hole 1. It's been playing as the 7th easiest hole for our pro players. Again, we'll probably see that mixture of backhand turnovers, trying to navigate these 2 trees here, or a forehand skip shot. Also provides some ace run opportunities. So this is where we'll get started as always, and let's see how our players fare on hole 1.
And Matteo leading things off here, 24 under par, so he has 7 strokes out in front. So it's going to be taking a lot to catch up with him today, as he's going to be throwing that same pine turnover he's been throwing every round. A little lower out the hand this time. Still skips up.
Some great ground action right there at Circle's Edge.
Yeah, I thought it was in danger for a moment.
Yeah, myself as well. So let's see what Josh is throwing here. Maybe an Ati?
Whatever
Forehand.
it is, it came out super early.
Yeah, just a little early. A little early.
That's going to be a tough scramble, honestly.
Yep. Probably from Johnny, we won't be seeing a forehand, I would guess. He's probably going to throw that patented turnover shot he loves so much.
Yeah, this will be a fuse from him, his kind of go-to mid-range. This is a different fuse than what he was using the first couple of days, so kind of changing it up a little bit.
Yeah, he had a similar problem, though, a little overturned, but this one kicks out in the opening. He won't need as much of those yoga skills as he showed in the first round.
Yeah, and Fulford here looking for the forehand as well. I believe this is a destroyer. I think every distance driver in its bag is a destroyer. He's not sponsored by a manufacturer. He's sponsored by Rotor Disc Golf Supply. So it throws a mixed bag, and unfortunately that forehand's going to enter the rough.
Some early trouble here for Josh, but let's see if we can scramble out of this. Oh, zigzag, but kicks back out to the middle. Give him a tough putt there.
And JohnE McCray with the jump putt approach here, maybe trying to give it a little bit of a run. Either way, safely nestles next to the basket for the par save. But again, pars are not going to cut it when Matt is this out in front.
Yeah, Josh is going to take the bogey here early. Try and get that corrected if he has any chance of chasing down Matt.
What a great out there from Ben. I believe that was one of his putting putters. He putts with PA3s and was able to get it there next to the mulch. Meanwhile, Matteo keeping the foot on the gas will run that back. And if he's hitting jump putts like that early, you know he's going to be dangerous.
Indeed. First 2 days of drives were great. Putter, a little shaky on day 1, but really picked it up in day 2, and he's looking to pick up right where he left off.
Absolutely. Seems that way. He will gain another stroke on the field here, moving that lead up to 8, at least amongst the lead card competitors. Of course, there's some chase card players that are making moves.
Yeah, if these guys are going to have any chance of chasing Matt down, they're really going to have to convert those pars into birdies.
And also hope that Matt slows down a bit. But if that's any sign, doesn't seem like it is going to be happening here as we move into hole number 2.
Hole number 2 plays as our 8th easiest on the course today for the pro players. A lot of our players are going to be throwing a little bit of a faster disc here, trying to really get something penetrating, something straight with a little turn maybe right around here, so you have a little bit more room on the right side, and then we need it to hyzer back with some stability here at the left. As you mentioned, there's a little hard packed dirt here, so you can get some ground play, kind of scoot up inside of circle 1 there for the putt.
Yeah, Matty O will be leading the charge here. He's been throwing the 9-speed honor most rounds and has had success with it, but it seems like he's clubbing up. This is actually, I believe, his orbit Dryv. Well, that works.
Oh, great ground play to check him up with the speed.
So I believe that disc's name is Julio Jones. So that just, again, shows you who Matt is. As McCray probably throwing a St. Pro here, and it's kind of one of those go-to fairway drivers that are a grace. Looks good.
Really nice right there. Should have a good putt.
Believe this is Thunderbird from Fulford.
Josh here's probably throwing a Sergeant if I had to guess. A little early.
Yeah, he's had a couple of troubles here on these first couple of holes off the tee. Needs the course correct quickly. Fulford, kind of the same story. As he's throwing a little mid-range up shot here. So we can see that was actually a buzz. Pretty solid touch with the forehand for that disc.
Absolutely. Maybe just a little nerves here on these first holes. Maybe our players can, calm things down and get on the scoreboard here.
Here's McCray for a chance at birdie, putting with the shield. But that just never had a chance.
Yeah, I don't think that one got above the cage. He'd like to have that one back.
Another par save for
Solid
Ben.
putt. Solid. Good par there. Good scramble, but you said it many times here throughout the round. Par is just not going to get it done.
No, but I'll tell you what will get it done is Privet Drive Disc Golf course for helping support this broadcast. They have definitely come through. So shout out to them as Matty O is going to have a tap-in birdie here to kick it off with back-to-back scores, continuing to increase his lead as he's trying to lock up this championship. As we'll take a quick look at the leaderboard, he is now up by 9 strokes on his closest competitor, JohnE McCray. We'll see how the rest of the round plays out after a short break.
TeamDiscraft.com. All the team favorites on one site.
Yep, here we are, hole 3, which is playing as our 10th easiest hole. Most of our players will be looking at throwing a backhand down this right side with something that's fairly straight, maybe a mid or a low fairway driver. Navigating through this area right here in the ground play will usually bring you right toward the basket. So just have a couple little trees here to dodge on the green, which should set up our players for one of the easier birdies here on the front, maybe.
Matty looking to get an early turkey here. Still has the box, throwing that same pine. Just a little right on him, though.
Kicks out, should have a look.
Absolutely. Fuse here from McCray, but that seemed like it was on too much hyzer out the hand.
Yeah, I'm not sure. A little early release and a little more hyzer than what he would have liked.
I think this is an M4 from Ben, but just had it nose up right off the release and didn't really have much of a chance.
I think this is his gatekeeper here. Oh, kick off the stump. Josh has just had some rough sledding here earlier, but He's a really strong player. I'm sure he's going to be able to kind of snap back out of this and get something going.
Nice scramble here from McCray.
Yes, the rare forehand.
Absolutely.
Extremely well done.
I have to agree. Yeah, I don't see it too often from him, but he certainly made that one work. Solid as well there from Josh.
Stress-free par.
Not leaving the caddy hanging either, so 100% success rate on that.
Yeah, that was Bailey Avalos, one of our great young kids here. Is 12 years old and just throwing 500 feet on a rope.
That must be nice.
Future's bright. Yeah, future's bright.
Oh, Ben getting hung up on his way out of the woods. Still got a long par putt attempt as Matteo looking for another birdie here at the jumper. And it connects. The man seemingly can't miss right now as we're going to run this one back yet again. 2 for 2 on the jumpers today.
Sir.
And kept the sunglasses intact as well. Nearly.
Not what Ben was looking for there.
Yeah, that'll be his first damage on the scorecard. After the first 2 holes when he fumbled off the tee, he was able to recover the par, but this time around he will take the red on the card.
Course can be tricky. Some days it seems like you can't miss a fairway, and then other days just a little off and you get a kick into the rough. The rough can be really punishing.
Absolutely is. Again, we were talking about it in the second round. A lot of these holes are just, you know, wide, fair fairways, but really rough, and then there's just these slight little variations in distance and tree placement that make you have to have a full arsenal of shots.
Absolutely. Here we are on hole 4. 4 places our 11th easiest hole. Players will be doing a turnover with their backhand or a forehand here for the right-handed players, trying to navigate those 2 trees. Again, it goes uphill, and then right about here, it turns and goes back downhill. So really speed control and nose angle will play a key component in how our players attack this one.
And Matteo going Maverick here. So slightly understable 7 speed. First real misfire from him.
Yeah, I was just so shocked to see it. We haven't seen it in the last 2 rounds. I guess he is human. Oh,
that Pine is out there playing some D today, man.
Absolutely.
Is he going to get another one?
Forehand. We haven't seen that yet. Get around it. Oh, nice shot there with the defender. Oh, should have a putt there maybe on the edge.
Yeah, it looks like he should have some room to fit one in. So I believe this is the same destroyer that Ben was forehanding on the first hole.
Yeah, those defenders came out with a vengeance today in those pines, man. They collected a couple of those drives.
Little turnover upshot there from McCray will give him a comfortable par putt. And this is just kind of Matteo's go-to shot. Just really good, these little anti-putter shots.
Yeah, it was really nice. He got kicked back to the edge of the fairway and just free par.
Oh, Ben from range gave that a really nice bid.
Oh, what a great run you had there from Ben.
There we go, Josh. There we go. Patin puts it in.
Yep, erase that mistake early. Maybe you can get this thing turned around here.
I definitely know he's a pretty formidable player in the Southeast. I see his name all the time at the top of some of the tournament boards, so definitely a solid player for Westside Disc.
Good putt there from Ben. Yeah, that's the tough thing about woods golf, right? Like, you don't have to be off by much, and it doesn't really reflect in the score. You could be throwing the disc really well. But just a little off here and there can make a big difference in your score.
As everyone just kind of cleans up and licks their wounds a little bit here on this hole, which kind of gave everyone a little bit of trouble.
I think we only had one birdie there, and Josh picked that one up for us. take a look at hole 5. It's our first par 4 of back-to-back par 4s here. Really tough shot, getting just mostly straight here. Backhand hyzer's kind of a lefty nightmare, to be honest. But the backhand hyzer lines up right in here. If you can get there, or even pushing into here, we saw Silas a couple of times. Give players the rare jump putt at an eagle or the easy birdie.
Yeah, I could definitely see someone like Ben in particular get aggressive and go for this with a distance driver, as you were talking about Silas doing in previous rounds. But certainly a fairway driver can give you a good placement for an upshot for birdie.
I think this is that Sargent again. Oh, gets hung up just a little bit, but the line is good. He might be able to find something from there.
This is Matteo at the Honor, overstable 9 speed. I believe the Sargent's like a 10 or 11 speed, just a tick faster than the Honor.
Yep, right there by the right tees. Good looking spot there.
Oof, that is a tough one for Johnny. You can tell he's frustrated with that, but it happens to the best of them.
Just misses the pine. Looking good. Missed that one. Okay. He should have a look to get up and down there from the birdie, for the birdie.
Absolutely. Yeah. Actually did not get as aggressive as I thought he might. That's a, pretty solid scramble from McCray, yeah.
Yes. Oh, the rare third forehand in a row here.
2 on the same hole. I mean, again, well done, considering where he was.
Absolutely.
This is tough for Patin, though. He's really in this.
He gets out of these situations pretty well.
You don't say.
Now he's going to have a look.
Absolutely he will.
Yeah, he's a really strong forehand player.
That one just yanked over a little bit. You can see what Ben was going for there with the skip shot, but just pulled it a bit.
Yeah, Matt's continuing to play this hole very well all week. He's really had that one dialed in.
And just a little short on that run. We'll have to settle for the par.
Yeah, you can tell he was looking for a little more than par there for sure.
Yeah, he's had a slow start. He's definitely wanting to try to get something going. I mean, the wind's probably out of reach at this point for Ben being this behind, but at least getting a good placement is still very much in the cards for him.
Absolutely. Looks like Josh may have found a little trouble on this right side. Looks like he's really making sure he's got his placement there behind this disc. Got a good legal line. See if he can find a little hole here to get out through.
Yeah, hard to tell from this angle what he's really got. Not bad.
Oh. That's a great effort.
Matteo back to scoring ways here now. 4 down through the opening 5 holes of this round, bringing him to 28 under par, and really just, I mean, I hate to call a tournament this early, but he is well out in front. It would take kind of a disaster from him to fall apart at this point.
Well, and if you think about his mistakes right now are taking pars.
Right.
So that's not likely.
Yeah, he's kind of separated himself, and it feels like it's a fight for second at this point for everyone else out there on the lead card and chase card. Again, Matt was coming off the win at the MVP Open, I think just the week before this tournament, so he is still very much in rhythm, as we'll take a short break before we get back to the coverage.
back with the second of those par 4s that we mentioned. This hole is playing as the 12th hardest hole today. Players are really, again, just trying to navigate these first few trees here at the beginning, get into this pinch point, and then anything beyond this really gives our players a great opportunity at the birdie. The drives that end up here give us a shot at the rare eagle on this hole. We haven't seen one yet on camera. Maybe today is the day that we get to catch a glimpse of the eagle.
It's really tough to navigate this tight corridor for that long of a stretch to get up there for eagle, but it can be done. Matteo going with the flow here. Getting caught up on that left-hand side, though.
I think Josh is probably throwing this gatekeeper here. We've seen him throw it a couple of times.
Yeah.
Didn't get the distance he wanted, but at least they stayed in the middle.
Yeah, exactly. Which still gives you a great chance for the birdie. As this is a putter shot, I believe, from Fulford, PA1.
Yeah, really playing the shape there, wanting to stay in the middle and make sure he still had a chance at the birdie and not get a kick off in the rough. Oh,
Speaking of those kicks in the rough. Oh, jinx. I don't know what that
Sorry,
means.
Johnny.
Yeah. From the
Are we
future.
going to see another forehand?
We are. I mean, put the counter up at this point.
I'll be honest, as well as he's throwing them, I don't know why we don't see more of them.
That's fair.
Upshot here from Josh. Probably his compass, if I had to guess.
Chill, baby.
Slow down a little bit. Ooh, it's going to leave a little bit of a sketchy putt.
Yeah, going to be a
Circle's edge.
straddle on the circle's edge, as you said. Just a nice, easy putter up shot here. But, oh, catches the stump. That's going to give him a longer putt than he wanted.
Yeah, that raised basket could present the last obstacle there to keep him from getting the birdie.
And you could tell Ben wasn't really looking to do anything here other than put the disc next to the basket for birdie.
Yep. Nice stress-free birdie there is what the doctor ordered.
Oh, here comes the Patin a turbo putt from JohnE McCray.
Cage? I couldn't quite see. It looked like maybe hit the front of the cage.
Yeah, it was close. And yeah, Patin definitely tough putt here. Nearly makes it work, though.
Oh, so close. Man, I feel like he's just been a couple of inches here and there on a drive or a putt. It could be a completely different round.
I agree with you. As Matteo is just, I don't want to say he's quite lapping the field at this point. It's not that severe, but he's piling it on, that's for sure. 5 down through 6.
Yeah, he's definitely taking that momentum from the MVP Open to the tournament this weekend for sure.
And again, it's always a fierce competitor in this region when he's not on tour. As we'd like to give a special thank you to Emerald Queen Goddess for their support, helping you bring this broadcast. And we appreciate all of you for tuning in.
Players cleaning up their pars here before we head across the road to hole 7. Just a little bit more of an open hole, so let's see what the wind looks like there today.
Yeah, first day it wasn't too windy. Second day it was fairly windy. We'll see what it is today, as again, this is where the course really kind of shows you its hybrid nature as it opens up quite a bit.
Yeah, here players have an elevated tee kind of throwing across the valley. Really no obstacles, especially compared to the previous holes we've been playing as we move down the fairway, but the obstacles are still there on the green. We have one pine tree to the left that really just seems to be kind of a catch area over there where we see a lot of players land. And if you go too far, you really are looking at a death putt coming back at the basket with, a green that just slopes away dramatically right behind the basket.
Yeah, there's a lot of danger on this hole. And we got Matteo throwing the Adder, which is a very overstable west side disc, 13 speed, I believe.
He's been a little long and right the previous 2 days. It looked like he tried to make the correction there to at least give himself a putt.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I'm not quite sure what this is from Ben. It might be his H1, which is a pretty overstable Prodigy disc from back in the day.
Whatever it's done, whatever it was, I would call it well done. Let's see what Josh is able to get here. A bit of hyzer. There is a little wind out there. I can see it from the players. Well, so far, all of our players are on that right side, staying away from that pine tree. This looks good.
Yeah.
Oh, don't do it. Oh, he hit a putt from back there earlier. We saw some of our players hit one. So let's see what they got here. A little uphill for Matt.
And the risk is just hitting and rolling back down the hill. So that's something that has to be thought about on this. As that will stay for Matt after hitting left side chains. That'll stay too for Patin. Oh my goodness, the fortune.
This basket is closed for business today. Let's see if Ben can get it.
That was a lot of chains.
Oh, no.
Man, must have been maybe just left and hyzered out, or maybe just too much pop on it. He does putt very hard, I will say that.
Yes. I think it was just a little left with hyzering away from it. But, yeah, I really thought players could take advantage here of an open hole, and especially with their positions. But wind and a fast green still makes a tough hole.
Yeah, again, that uphill putt can always get in your head a little bit because you know what could happen if you draw metal and come up short. But as it stands, Matteo keeps the card clean, keeps the lead building, but it's a very tight race for second amongst the rest of the players here on the lead and chase cards. We move into hole number 8.
Yep, hole 8, par 3. Most of our players, again, be throwing that backhand kind of out over the right side, letting it hyzer back. The real dangers in this hole, as you can see, there are some stakes on the left side, circling around behind the basket is OB as well. So most of our players will be throwing a slower fairway driver or a mid here, pretty stable, putting it out to the right and letting it spike back in toward the basket.
And again, it's about staying inbounds, and that means distance and angle control as Matteo swinging the ARP out wide. He likes it right away. And I can see why.
Yep, no doubts about that one. Inside the circle for another birdie putt.
Ben Fulford also looking for that spike hyzer line.
Wants it to get down.
Ah, too much.
A little fast. I think he was throwing a little faster disc there. I think
That was an FD3
Josh,
he just threw, so yeah.
Yeah, I think Josh is throwing an ATI as well here.
Yep.
Maybe taking a note out of Matt's book since they have the same sponsor.
Yep, all of them throwing over stable 9 speeds on this one.
Good shot there from Johnny.
Absolutely. Back to birdieing is Matteo again. He's one of those guys that doesn't really look at scores very much, so even when he's well out in front, he still always feels pressure to keep scoring. As Ben hits a really nice par save there. He's had a lot of good par saves this round, but unfortunately just not really any birdies other than one.
Here we go, getting on the board again.
He's found 2 birdies in the last 4 holes, so starting to turn things around a little bit here. As McCray will also start riding the ship, getting back to even on the round. As we have one final hole left to go here on this front 9, and we'll bring it to you after the break.
At Discraft, we don't wait to see what the future holds. We build it. The future is in your hands.
Here we are on hole 9, par 3. Believe it or not, Dustin, this is playing as our second hardest hole or 17th easiest hole. We have a lot of dual or OB over here to the right side, and the reason this hole is played so hard for the last 2 days is this green. Check out this green. It is so hard for our players to get a drive to stay here. Rollaways, we even saw, long putts just to save par that rolled all the way out of OB over the last couple of days.
Matteo with that same adder.
too bad of a rollaway. Looks like it stays inside the circle and an uphill putt with a good backdrop. So I think Josh actually here is throwing the same adder. Again, maybe taking notes there from Matt since they have that same sponsor. A little shorter, but it's a makeable putt if he wants to try for it. It.
Yeah, again, the risk of this hole is the roll away, and sometimes it can roll enough to even go out of bounds, and this one is looking like it could. Oh! Saved. Just barely.
I didn't think that disc would ever stop rolling.
And this is that FD3 from Ben.
A little bit of hyzer on it, pretty casual release. Does it belly flop, or she gone?
Well, it curls back at least near the circle's edge. Probably a 38-footer, 37-footer, something like that.
I do like the uphill backdrop if they choose to run it. This was just cruel here. What a rollaway.
Yeah, lucky to be in bounds as he tries to just throw it up there and settle for par, and he's able to do so successfully. Ben looking for probably a little bit more than that here. Not quite.
I gave it a run.
And then Josh really starting to hit his stride on the putting green.
It was just a matter of time. He's too good of a player.
Matt will not be outdone, though. Finds himself another as he will go 7 down through 9. As that lead has grown significantly. He is more than 10 strokes clear of his next competitor. That's just a tough moment there for JohnE McCray, unfortunately. As we'd like to give a thank you to the New Orleans DGC for helping support the coverage, helping you bring the broadcast. So just want to give them a shout out here at the end as we see the rest of the card kind of clean things up here as we end our final front nine of the tournament. Yeah, Matty O just really not pulling any stops here, building that lead up to a big level. And yeah, as you can see, he is well clear of the field. JC Rowe, Alex Brister, Josh Patin, and a few others on the chase card all starting to make moves. It's very tight between second and ninth place right now. So definitely still a lot to compete for. As we appreciate you all tuning in. Please be sure to follow Ace Run Productions on all the socials. Obviously subscribe here on YouTube, but also you can check them out on Twitter and Instagram. You can also catch myself, Dustin Murray, on Instagram and Twitter at FollowDust, as well as Dustin Disc Golf on YouTube. And Shane, where can they find you?
You can check out some of my disc golf and frisbee nonsense over on YouTube at Discraft Pro.
Well, thank you so much, Shane, for joining me for the commentary. Folks, we got one more 9 to go before it's all said and done. We'll see you on the back 9 soon.